mention to birthday greetings to Keith Addison, celebrating his 75th today. An awful lot more to say and celebrate, but right now, look right down the runway and you'll see the mighty Vulcan. Time now for Sean Mappett. Sean, good afternoon.
George, thank you very much indeed. The mighty Vulcan is indeed at the right-hand end of the runway, about to take off and go straight into her display. So, I suppose welcome to the very last flying season of a British aeroplane that represents the very best, the most imaginative, thinking out of the box virtues of aeronautical design and engineering. If this is your only air show of the season, this will probably be the last time you'll ever see this rock star of the aviation world. He's the single most popular aeroplane in the country. She's flown for us today by Captain Kev Rumens, who's going to be flying the display, and sitting alongside him, Captain Bill Ramsey. We shall be seeing him fly later after the formal display has finished. And the third person of the crew is the Air Electronics Officer, Bill Davies. He's sitting in the row of seats behind the pilots, the AEO faces backwards, and he manages the systems of this electric bomber, rather similar to an air engineer. One of the other things that I always think is worth mentioning about Vulcan, people who are not on board, there's an amazing crew headed by Tapp Stone, the crew chief and chief engineer, with a team of 6 engineers who daily work miracles on this aircraft. I'm often asked why I insist on calling her she, but I think that's only right and proper. Ships are called she. And Tapp Stone tells me that she's not only a bit temperamental, but she's very high maintenance as well. So we all call 558 she. And Tapp says, despite all of that, he loves her. So here she goes. That is the great Kev Rumens flying in the way that we know Kev Rumens likes to. And that was the sound of 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus 202 engines, 16,500 pounds of static thrust each of them, total of about 65,000, keeping it slightly less than that, in the interest of keeping the old girl going nicely. So we got to hear the Vulcan howl. I hope we'll get to hear it again. And you get to see as she turns around onto finals and back down the runway again, that wonderful triangular shape, as designed in 1946 by the wonderful Roy Chadwick, who also designed the Lancaster and the Anson, great Avro aeroplanes. So as Kev brings the Vulcan in along the runway, along the display line, I'm looking to see him accelerate her to So when he takes the power off, it all goes quiet again. She's in the colours, this aeroplane, she has the Lincoln coat of arms on the fin, plus the Panther's head of number 1 group. That was the Royal Air Force group that controlled all of the Vulcans, and she represents all of the Vulcan squadrons in the 70s. That's number 9, 12, 27, 35, 44, 50, 83, 101, 617, and the operational version. She also has painted on her nose the spirit of Great Britain, which really encapsulates all that she stands for. Now I think next we're going to see Kev Rumens bring her round towards us on the axis, which I'm sure we've talked about many times today, heading straight in towards us. And then, as she tiptoes up on us again, we'll hear the power come on as he takes her into a spiral climb. Vulcan first flew in 1952, only 11 years after the first flight of the Lancaster. Look at the two of them together, and you think they come from different centuries. Not a bit of it. Designed by the same team. Apart from protecting us from being overcome by nuclear holocaust during the Cold War, Vulcan never went to war until, that is, the 30th of April 1982, when one Vulcan 607 hit the center line of the Port Stanley runway in the Falkland Islands with one bomb and the edge of the runway with another, making the runway unusable for Argentine fast jets. And until the Gulf War, that was the longest bombing raid in history, 7,760 miles round trip, which is about the same distance as from here to Bali in one hop. And the whole trip took no less than 18 air-to-air refuelings. That aircraft, 607, is now static at RIAT Waddington. When there's a Waddington air show, you used to be able to see 558 fly over her. But of course no more, because this is 558's last season. She's going to fly down the runway with her wheels down. All 18 of them, if you're removing counting, or in case you put one of the underwing doors. There you see the undercarriage going up, the wheels tilt back, and the main undercarriage legs fold forward to the spacious undercarriage bays. Get an idea of the amazing agility of this aeroplane. She doesn't have a big control yoke like most others. She has fighter type control columns for each of the pilots. And of course she is amazingly agile. In the early days at the Farnborough Air Show, their test pilots actually rolled the aeroplane. But that became rather frowned upon. She wasn't allowed to do it anymore, perfectly within her capabilities. As she comes in this time, we may see the bomb doors opening. There we go. Bomb doors open. Bomb bay. Bomb, and that's what it's all about. And in fact, on that bombing raid to Falkland Islands, the aircraft took 21 1,000-pound bombs, more than 10 tons of bombs. They dropped all 21 of them. They only hit the runway with 2. That was par for the course. These were more or less wartime dumb bombs, no guidance amongst them or anything. So if you wanted to hit a specific target, you went for a lot of overkill so that you'd be sure of hitting it. and indeed they did get it. The pilot at that time, Martin Withers, who is now the chief pilot of the Vulcan to the Sky Trust. He was awarded a DMC, and his crew were mentioned in the dispatches. As she comes back in front of us again, expect to see the bomb bay closing. Nowadays it just contains the names of lots and lots and lots of people who have contributed so wonderfully to keeping this grand old lady flying. Funded by the government, and she doesn't belong to the Royal Air Force. And to get this far has cost more than £22 million, which is still costing £2 million a year. But that money has come from everybody. You've given your money in single pounds, in tens of thousands and everything in between. The late Sir Jack Hayward, wonderful. And also the very generous Eddie Forrester of Aerobites. There's been big support from the CAA, as well as the three technical authority companies, BAE Systems, Marshall Aerospace and Defence Group, and Rolls-Royce. Many other companies have given fantastic help. Airbus, AD Holdings, Spiegel Technology, Cranfield Aerospace, Goodrich, Kearsley Airways, Meggitt, Messier Dowdy, but it is the three technical authority companies that will finally bring Vulcan to industrial flying life. So that once the three technical authority companies have ceased their support at the end of this flying season, the Civil Aviation Authority regulations mean that Vulcan will be prohibited from flying. So the end of her career is not about funding, it's not about the supply of spare parts, but it is about mandatory third-party support. It is interesting to note that this aircraft has flown more than 10% more hours than any other Vulcan has ever flown. Structures and systems are thus into an unknown area, but she is as safe as she's ever been. She is very well looked after, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to find the expertise for the companies to look after her. She is still being enjoyed by 3 million people every year, probably a whole lot more this year, including children and young people who are inspired to learn more about engineering and aviation. As she went into her Zoom climb, back later on, how nice to see the red arrows giving her a real red, white and blue salute before they leave their base.
Certainly will, and a very brief thank you to Sean there, a great friend of service. And order and take away on your own. Capturing all the special moments complete. We go through many of the aircraft order with action shots, past air shows, and there will be GoPros from the Vulcan, or from the Vulcan when you see that flight path very